It's awesome. Now we're gonna play Gyruda or Gyruda, whatever you want to call it. And we can keep the new one. That makes a copy of the old one plus the new one triggers. You don't get anything from them. Get another Naturalist. As long as our Thassa doesn't go to the grave. And we can exile that for a 1/1 copy of it. Which is pretty cool, so we actually we'll sack this one. So we're gonna keep the big one, obviously. 6/6. We could have cycled it a little bit more, but I want to keep the body. And the ape is gonna be great here. Right, another big body. Let's take a goosey goose. I can't believe we turned this match around. As soon as I seen Ugin, my heart just dropped. And now we bounce our Gyruda one more time with Thassa. Ooh, 2 Troll Kings here. Don't mind if I do, Hugh. Don't mind if I do. Hey everybody, welcome back. Thanks for taking the time to watch Hello Good Game. Today we're playing Gyruda, Doom of Depths. This is a 6/6, and when it enters the battlefield, each you and your opponent will mill 4 cards, and then you get to take a converted creature with even mana cost from among them, putting it into the battlefield under your control. So that's absolutely insane. Of course, running Gyruda as our companion means we need to follow the deck building rule, which means we can only have even converted mana costs within our deck. So we're running 2 drops, we're running 4 drops, and we're running 6 drops. If you find any value within this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up, like the video, and share the channel to a friend. You can also subscribe for future content. Let's get right into the deck. We start out with a single copy of Thassa's Oracle, a 1/3, and when it enters the battlefield, look at the top X cards of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put up to 1 of them on the top of your library and the rest on the bottom of your library in a random order. If X is greater than or equal to the number of cards in your library, you win the game. So Gyruda is allowing us to self-mill pretty efficiently. 4 cards every time it enters the battlefield, and we'll be, re-entering it into the battlefield multiple times. We'll get to that in a second. But Thassa's Oracle is, basically an insurance policy. We can pull it with Gyruda's ability. We can also drop it organically. So it's a very, very cool card. One thing to note is if you do mill it with Gyruda, you have to take it. You don't get to not take it and take something else, unless you're sure that you don't need the self-mill win condition. If you know that you can just box your opponent out with damage, sure, leave Thassa's Oracle in the graveyard, take something bigger and meaner, that's fine. But if you're worried about where the match is going, maybe it's against rogues who are milling you already, definitely 100% of the time take your Thassa's Oracle, and you'll get more bounces of Gyruda later on, but it's important that the Oracle does not go to the grave. 4 copies of our Humble Naturalist, a 1/3, which can tap to add 1 mana of any color. We can only spend that mana though to cast creature spells, which is fine. The deck is chocked full of creature spells. I'm not sure we even have any non-creature spells, at least in the main board. We're playing traditional today, so we do have the sideboard to talk about in a little bit as well. We have another mana dork here within the Ilysian Caryatid, also a 2-drop, 1/1. We can tap it to add 1 mana of any color. If we have 4 or more creatures in play, we'll add 2 mana of any 1 color instead, which is pretty cool, right? That's a decent amount of ramp. And then another mana dork here in the form of an MDFC, so obviously it can come in tapped as a land, adding a green to our pool. And the Florahedron can come in as a 1/1, tapping to add a green to our pool as well there. Into our 4 drops, we have 3 copies of Solemn Simulacrum, a 2/2, and when it enters the battlefield, search your library for a basic land, put it into the battlefield tapped, and give it a shuffle. When it dies, you get to draw a card. That's great, not only for the land entering the battlefield, because we will be bouncing things, but when it dies, we also get to draw, which is quite helpful. 3 copies of Questing Beast, a 4/4 with Vigilance, Death Touch, and Haste, can not be blocked by creatures with power 2 or less, and combat damage that would be dealt by creatures you control cannot be prevented. Whenever Questing Beast deals combat damage to an opponent, it deals that much damage to Planeswalker that player controls as well. Questing Beast is great after an Ugin minus. Ugin hits the field, minuses on everything, hopefully 5, or I guess it would be 4 because it comes out as 7 or 8. 8, it must come out as 8. Anyways, it minuses 4 on everything. Then you've got an open field. Questing Beast can come out and hit the opponent for damage and kill Ugin. So that's its greatest use right now. Also, it's just, you know, a great death touch blocker if your opponent gets any shenanigans going. We've got 4 copies of the Nightmare Shepherd. Now, this is one of the main engines within the deck, other than Gyruda, Doom of Depths, and the two synchronize together very, very well. A 4/4 with flying, and whenever another non-token creature you control dies, you may exile it. If you do, create a token that's a copy of that creature, except it's a 1/1 and is a nightmare in addition to its other types. This means it will keep all the abilities, right? It's just a 1/1. So we will be using Nightmare Shepherd in conjunction with our Gyruda, Doom of Depths. Gyruda enters play, you have a Shepherd in play already. Gyruda finds another Gyruda, that Gyruda enters, you use the second ability of the ability of the second Gyruda. The first one dies. When it dies, you exile it with Shepherd. It brings it back. The second Gyruda triggers, then the third Gyruda triggers, and then hopefully you have a Thassa's Deep Dwelling as well within there to get another trigger out of Gyruda as well. Of course, Thassa's Dwelling, a 6/5 with Indestructible as long as your devotion to blue is less than 5. Thassa isn't a creature. You know, you can get your devotion up to 5. It's not uncommon, it happens, and you've got an indestructible blocker. That's great. You can also, at the beginning of your end step, and this is the important part, exile up to 1 other target creature you control, returning it to the battlefield under your control. So typically, we will 99% of the time be bouncing our Gyruda, Doom of Depths, and then the ETB effect from Gyruda re-triggers with the remill, and then we get to take a creature with even converted mana cost into play again, which is really, really, really cool. Moving forward, we also have 3 copies of Massacre Wurm, our first 6-drop, a 6/5, and when it enters the battlefield, creatures your opponent control get -2/-2 until end of turn. Whenever a creature an opponent controls dies, that player loses 2 life. So, you know, we do look for ETB effects. It's not just Gyruda that will be bouncing with Thassa, but it is our priority. If we don't have a Gyruda to bounce, I mentioned Solemn Simulacrum. When it enters the battlefield, you search for a land, putting it into play tapped. That's great. That's going to help you ramp into these bigger 6-drops. The Massacre Wurm, when it enters, creatures get -2/-2. Opponent loses 2 life for each creature that dies this turn that way. So, you know, the Massacre Wurm is great. You can bounce it, you can play it, and then bounce it to -4/-4 on everything. So that's worth noting. Kogla, the Titan Ape, a 7/6, and when it enters the battlefield, it fights up to 1 target creature you don't control. So again, a nice ETB effect that we can continually bounce to get fight effects in. And whenever Kogla attacks, destroy target artifact or enchantment defending player controls. We can also pay 2 to return target human you control to its owner's hand. Kogla gains indestructible until end of turn. I believe our only human within the deck is the Humble Naturalist. So it's just a great way. Bounce the Naturalist to your hand, give Kogla indestructible. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. And then of course we already talked about Gyruda, Doom of Depths. We've got 3 additional copies of those main board, and 3 copies of Lochmere Serpent, which I am actually falling in love with. So your opponent's playing Rakdos, they drop Kroxa, you have to discard. You discard your Serpent, and then if we look into the Serpent, it's a 7/7 with Flash. We can pay 1 to sacrifice an island. It can't be blocked this turn. Sure, that's kind of late game, close the match out shenanigans. We can also pay 1, sacrifice a swamp, you gain 1 life and draw a card. Decent, but you don't really want to sacrifice land again until late game shenanigans. We can pay 2 to exile 5 target cards from an opponent's graveyard, return the Serpent from your graveyard to your hand, activate this only time you can cast a sorcery. So obviously Kroxa needs to exile 5 cards from the graveyard, so does the Serpent. The Serpent will exile Gyruda before it can be played, because Gyruda needs 5 plus Kroxa to be played, where the Serpent will include Kroxa within those 5, which it's just absolutely amazing. We've had the Serpent eat up multiple Kroxas in 1 turn, and I love it. So you discard it, and then you bring it back to your hand by taking their Kroxas out of play. It's literally a no-loss scenario. Moving forward, we do have 4 Fabled Passages, 4 Zagoth Triumphs, 4 Clearwater Murkwater Pathways, 7 Forests, and 5 Swamps to get the job done land-wise, playing with the sideboard as we are exploring into traditional today. 2 additional Kogla, the Titan Apes, great for removal. Artless Act, choose 1 at instant speed for 2. Destroy target creature with no counters on it. Remove up to 3 counters from target creature. 3 copies of Eliminate, Also instant speed for 2, destroying target creature or planeswalker with converted mana cost 3 or less. Agonizing Remorse for 2 at sorcery speed. Target opponent reveals their hand, you choose a non-land card from it or a card from their graveyard, exile that card, you lose 1 life, and 3 copies of Negate, counter target non-creature spell at instant speed. So we do go through our sideboard plays in the gameplay footage for you guys today to break it down match by match. But just a quick overview: Negate, obviously non-creature spells. This is awesome for taking out an Ugin. Genesis Ultimatum, which we don't see too much, and potentially, especially in this deck as we are all even converted mana costs, stopping Extinction Event. Agonizing Remorse, this is similar. It can take care of escape cards from the grave. It can also take care of things like Ugin from their hand, things like Genesis Ultimatum from their hand. Anything that you need to deal with, even the Extinction Event like we talked about. This is just a great way to get into their hand and take care of it. Eliminate if they've got some big baddies that we don't like. One of the biggest and baddest things that we need to combat is Scavenging Ooze. This is a 2-drop, so Eliminate will take care of that easily. The reason being is when we self-mill with Gyruda, the Ooze gets an opportunity while it's on the stack to exile those cards, which is really, really good. So you must kill the Ooze, and of course Heartless Act if the Ooze just drops, and you can get big baddies with this as well. Destroy target creature with no counters on it, or remove up to 3 counters from target creature, right? And of course the Kogla is more removal for you. So that's the deck list. I hope you guys enjoyed. It's a little thick. Obviously we're playing with 60 cards instead of 40. I'm sure you will notice that. I'm not sure why it says 40. It's not a limited deck, so we should always be playing with 60 actually. I don't know why that is. That's kind of odd. Anyways, you know, your general game plan is to ramp. You know, we've got the land drops, we've got the Naturalist, the Caryatid, the Florahedron, right? That's a lot of mana ramp. You also have the Simulacrum, which can ramp quite efficiently. And then, you know, you're all about getting Thassa in play, starting to play your Gyruda and bounce your Gyruda. Hopefully you've got a Shepherd in play, so one Gyruda can be in the play, the other can enter. They're both legendary, so only one can exist. One dies, exiled, comes back as a token, right? And you can just kind of keep this self-mill perpetuating along the roads to victory, and then just get that Thassa's Oracle out to win the game if you don't bash your opponent to death first. Alright guys, that's it. Enjoy today's gameplay footage. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share the channel to a friend, and of course join our YouTube membership program for exclusive content, and download for free the Magic the Gathering Arena Assistant available in the Overwolf link in the description below. Everything you want and more to help you, again, along that road to victory within Magic the Gathering Arena. Thanks a lot, take care, and we'll see you soon with my final thoughts. Well, let's get after it. 99%. This person's on the rise, looking to break into the top 1500. Let's see what we can do to stop them. Mono green food is what I would guess. And I guess we need our Serpent out just as a big body to try to stop that. If they turn 3 Henge, I'll die. I want to play the Triumph, but at the same time we need to just be ramping to keep up with them. So we're playing our Naturalist. Then we have 3, 4. We can drop our Caryatid and our other Naturalist. And then we can Serpent. Wicked Wolf fights our Naturalist. That makes me want to throw up. Let's get another in play with the Triumph. Good. Time to go slow. Four mana. Questing Beast. GG. Alright. We'll take our 3. Land in play. Shepherd in play. Shuts down the Wicked Wolf attack. Goose makes a food. Give the Wicked Wolf indestructible when it attacks. I guess we can attack, or we should probably just defend because they have 20 life, so they'll just take the damage. That does nothing for us. Or they get to draw a card. 2 cards in hand that we don't know about. No blocks. We could have done the Naturalist, but fine, we'll save that for later. 6 mana. That would be 9 if they have a henge. No, double beast. Alrighty, so we are sitting on 4, 5, 6 total, which is not enough. Let's bounce this over. Let's play a land, a little bit more ramp. No attacks. We're in a really bad spot. Our mana dorks can block and come back and still be mana dorks. Oh, the Troll King. Our opponent is piling on. This is crazy. We're blocking these. Taking 3 down to 10. Our blockers do come back. Right? So it's not like we lose the mana. Question is, how do we drop our Gyruda for 6 and get our Thassa out? Maybe we grab something really cool from their deck. Even a Thassa would be cool on our end. I think we just take their Troll King. That seems to be quite nice. Let's hit with our Shepherd. There's no reach. We could have had them down to 12 by now. The Troll King and Gyruda can chump block. Oh, the Ooze stops us. The Ooze can exile it before the Shepherd stack does. So that's gross. We need to keep mind of that. Oh, that has trample. It's annoying, and I hate it. Down to 3. Not good. We do get a decent trade, though. Ooze has got nothing to do. Well, not on our end, really. They should probably just take the 4 to draw a card. We're sitting on 8 mana, 9 total. We just have to keep bouncing our dude, right? This should bring Thassa in play. And we get to scry our Gyruda. We also get to draw. Look at the top of your library, where X is your devotion to blue. Put one of those cards on the top of your library and the rest in your library in a random order. The top of our library, please. Just our flyer can get in there. Let's bounce the one and only. Wicked Wolf's not anything great. Let's just take it again. Really doesn't matter. We get the token copy of it from Nightmare Shepherd, which is great, plus the original trigger. We're down to 38 cards, they're at 39. They're gonna, through Ooze, exile the card before it can, you know, be exiled through the Shepherd here. No. What? They take Questing Beast instead. Or they're gonna take all of our cards. They should be doing it after, though. Interesting. I'm gonna keep my mouth shut so we don't manifest anything poorly. Okay, they take our Gyruda. So now the Shepherd can't make the copy of it, I'm pretty sure. There's another in there, though. They've got insider help. They were making the wrong choice, and now they're making the right choices. That's why I hate talking about these things on stream. That's fine, though. We can grab a Troll King, which is of great benefit. 7/6 with Vigilance, or this huge thing, which can gain us life. And then we don't get to exile it because it's already gone, right? Typically we'd be making the 1/1 Gyruda here, but because the Ooze took it from us, we don't get to do that. Yep, that's our turn. We can, you know, sacrifice some swamps and gain life, draw a card. We can also make it unblockable, which is relatively useful, but our opponent's sitting pretty. Our devotion to blue is 6, 34 cards left in the library. And, you know, only one more Gyruda. So things are risky. They're not looking great, but it is what it is. Alright, the Ooze is gonna wrap up and utilize the rest of this mana. You know, we're lucky enough that we do have enough blockers. Ooze doesn't have trample, so it's like not a big ordeal. And the Ooze is something they really don't want to have die. So another Troll King in play. I think they thought they had to pay for it. They just have to sacrifice the food though, which is really, really good. Oh, nice. 3 Troll Kings all with trample. Shoot. That's aggressive. Right, what are we gonna do about that, boys and girls? Well, this is indestructible, right? We'll take 2 damage there. A dumb wolf. I hate you, Mr. Wolf. Sack a swamp, gain a life, draw a card. Do we want to exile this for a 1/1? Or do we just... Yeah, we do, because we already have one to spend our mana on. The ooze is gone, which is great. Right, that was the main objective with the double block. Down to 2. We're working for it. We are definitely having to work for this. It's these tramplers that suck. Oh! They did not like losing the ooze. Nice. Those damn Troll Kings, I tell you what, they are strong. We need Heartless Axe for those. All creatures. I like Koglas quite a bit. You know, Death Touch is relatively good as well, I think. That Wicked Wolf is so annoying. A minute and 20 left. It is good to keep note of the time. This could be good, wiping out the tokens. Right? Keep one Serpent in play. And they're going to be really after our Nightmare Shepherd. I don't want to drop any ramp. Let's just run 2 Koglas, I guess. 50 seconds. I'm feeling pretty confident with those sideboard plays. Mono green food. Wicked Wolf. Troll King. Hopefully there's no great henge. Right? If we were to take the negates, it would just be for the henge, but I don't want to take negates until we know that they have it for sure. So, just try to hold out and, you know, try to see what kind of shenanigans we get into beforehand. If it rears its ugly head, then we can, you know, try to deal with it in the third game, because obviously, if it does show up, it is going to have a huge impact, which they're going to notice, and then they're going to want to really make sure that they not only run it again, but get it out again right away. So we definitely need to, if it does happen and it wins them the game, sideboard against it. And that's typically really how I like to run my sideboard plays is, you know, don't try to counter something that's not there yet. And when you do try to counter something that you know is there, because you know it's there, it allows you to do some pretty aggressive mulligans to make sure that you're finding that answer. And again, I think, in my opinion, as far as your skill set development goes, the ability to successfully mulligan, that's the hardest one to truly master, in my opinion. It, you know, it revolves around so many things. It's not just, well, I've got 2 land, I've got 3 land, right? It's much more than that, and especially in best of 3. So I thought we were going to get a second win for free. It looks like they're going to make us play it out. Our hand looks good. We've got the Heartless Act, you know, we've got our Shepherd, and we've got, you know, a little bit of land to get us there. I guess this is a swamp when it comes out. We have no 1-drop, so obviously let's open up with our passage. The ooze. I never thought of the ooze. We should have taken our eliminates for the ooze. So, after all of this time lecturing about sideboard plays, the creature that had the biggest impact on our deck, the Scavenging Ooze, we've left it in play. We gotta kill it when it enters now, before it can get +1/+1 counters on it. And at least we noticed this before it hit play, before it got a +1/+1 counter on it, so we can address it when it does enter play. Let's see an ooze here, please, and thank you. You're a doll. You are just too kind, my friend. So, you know, we're not punished too hard there, right? Eliminate would have been the better option, but again, Heartless Act hits those trolls, which was what I was worried about. Trail of Crumbs, that's fine. Have this be our blue source. We ramp, it's going to be a wolf. We ramp, it's going to be a wolf. Let's bring our Cyberclaw Terror over to our hand and let them play the Wicked Wolf organically. Right? That's better than, you know, spending our turn and our mana on something that just gets removed by default. So they're on 4. That's fine. They can go. They could even just, you know, gain some life with the food and draw a card on trail. That might be relatively beneficial. Looks like that's probably what they'll do. Passage in play, Naturalist in play. They're going to play the wolf here on us, but we're going wide with 2 of them, so we kind of get away with it. And we're really behind on swamps, so it's a good thing we have one in our hand here. That shouldn't be a problem, though. Oof, and there is my favorite sign, El Oropo. A good indication that you're doing your job fairly well. At least making them think about their decisions, right? It doesn't necessarily mean that they're salty and trying to grind out your patience, but you know what, it does typically signify that they're thinking about things, right? Doing their best, trying to figure out the opportune play. And I'm still worried about the wolf, but you know, with 2 creatures in play, the wolf can only take 1. That leaves us at 4. We've played a 5. We have 6 in field, and then blah 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 blah. We go right after it, right? We may play it safe and just get Thassa rolling first. I think that's probably best. Okay, their turn. They did end up taking the draw there. They're sitting on 4. You know, Wicked Wolf. I'm still foreshadowing. Why are your ears so big, Ashiok? All the better to hear you with HGG. Right? I'm actually kind of worried. Maybe we shouldn't emote and activate our bad karma. So they're into 5 lands. Garenberg can tap. They go to 6. We see Heart's Desire for 1 down to 5. Beast takes them down to 2. Oh, they just go right to the Troll King. Not okay. Not okay. And the Troll King allows the wolf to go crazy. We can try to get it. Or we should play it safe. Playing it safe feels pretty good. No attacks. Let's reset our mana. Taking big damage here, but maybe we can set ourselves up for a victory. Taking a lot of damage here. I'm sure there's a henge as well, which is upsetting to us. It's too bad we couldn't take non-creature permanents with Gyruda or Ugin, whatever you want to call it. We could take their henge. Man, that would be so sick. Alright, 6 to 7 again. Are we going to see a secondary troll? No, it is the Wicked Wolf. So, you know, we were right about that. Ouch. Right, not good. Mammoth in play as well, also not good. Deep breaths. Oh, and we've not even taken damage yet. Ooh. Down to 13. Not looking good. There it is. There. Alright. I'm definitely going to take the Titan Ape. That's amazing. We're going to fight this mammoth. We're going to go wide with this. Should we fight this Troll King? Or should we just rebounce our Gyruda? Let's rebounce Gyruda. We're looking for another Kogla, Titan Ape. Ooh, we get a Gyruda. We milled our henge, that's awesome. A Troll King on their behalf. Ours has the Wurm. Troll King, 7/6. Wurm, 6/5. Let's take their Troll King. Right, because they could have cast it from the grave. But they have another, right? Which isn't good. So, the walls go up. It's a good feel here. The wolf taps when it does that, so that's kind of awkward. Right, so they're not attacking now with that indestructible. They're also not playing the Troll King. 6 to 7. They have another organically. Takes them to 5 food. Ooh! That's absolutely disgusting. And then their third Troll King's gonna come out. That's outrageous. And they get a decent draw here as well. Talk about lucky. Their draw is another Wicked Wolf. You stop it. Probably just a big body. We could have flashed that out, actually. That's my bad. Let's just keep rolling through our deck. We're down to 32. Thassa's Oracle still available. Wicked Wolf. We don't have any food for. The Death Touch isn't bad. I guess that's better than the Wurm right now. We still sort of flash the Serpent in to surprise them. That's on me. Are you serious? Everything goes though. Let's bounce this to our hand. Everything still gets exiled, but no, we save a creature, I guess. Not good. We didn't really want to be sacrificing swamps. Man, what an effective exile that is. The dumb wolf can kill anything we play. So we try to go wide. Wolf kills one, you know, Ugin kills the other. That's a good game. God dang it. Ugin? I've had enough of you. Love Strike Beast in play. You dog. Deep breaths. Still a match somehow. You know, we can top deck a Gyruda, 7.7% chance. And then we can let her rip and self-mill. Right, Thassa's Oracle's still there. I hate this in every aspect. We block with anything, the Shepherd dies. Now we go down to 1. I guess we should have taken our top deck and tried to win, but... It's the only one way to beat Ugin. Those eliminates 2 for those dumb oozes. I almost just want to play this with 65. We could drop the Oracle. We want the removal. I'm running 65, screw it. Playing first. Interesting. I'm not going down again. We're keeping this. Maybe the double. Ugh, so bad. Keep 6, toss a forest, start with a passage. In our library as quickly as we can. Deep breaths. No removal even, eh? Ah! I believe we can do it. I believe. Alright, our opponent's chilling. Just waiting. Bleep bloop blah. I mean, I'm not sure what they'd be doing here. They won that second round. They're really thinking on the land. That mulligan's a hard choice. We know this. The goose. You would. Playing a swamp here. Makes the food, which is so annoying. Passage again. Maybe they focus on other stuff and they kind of abandon the ooze. Never mind. This can be our second black source. That pathway can be our island. Gross. Push that in our hand, no ramping, which basically means we're gonna lose the game. Ugh. For 2 down to 18. We play our shepherd, it gets eaten by the big old wolf. Which is so sad. So let's play Thassa, try to pull the wolf out first. We have all of our land. Another goose, super annoying. The ooze has mana open, which is also annoying. I don't know how we're gonna make that fly. Right, the wrong kind of removal. We don't want a Heartless Act. No creatures to exile though, so we could actually use it. Oh, nice. As long as there's no wolf here. If there's a wolf here, we just fucked up the removal of the ooze. There could still be a wolf. No. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. Mwah. I love it. Absolutely love that. Let's thin our library yet a little bit more. Taking that third swamp and we're good to go. We have this as a secondary. And yeah, we can actually start tapping our opponent's creatures with Thassa as well. Bounce our shepherd into defensive position again, which is actually the opposite. It should be, I think, defensive positions turn sideways. In other games, anyways. All right, I think this isn't that bad. It depends on what those two cards are, right? Whew. Feeling semi-confident here now with that ooze gone, right? You know, those trolls are annoying, but at the end of the... Are you freaking kidding me? Wow. And of course we don't have our negate going. I didn't even think they'd pull into an Ugin that quickly. Really? Well, I can guarantee you that's the wrong play. Let's tap this goose. Right, just go for it. Go for it, bro. Boo. Double boo. At least we have Thassa. That takes him down to 5. Can't get rid of the 6 drop. Just fun for me. Even the bounce here is really good. Take that troll king. It's another thing that they can't kill because it's so big. And they can't replay it with food later, which is good. Nice. This is shaping up. They still need to minus Ugin to kill Thassa, but that sucks so bad for them. We're gonna win this game because they didn't minus Ugin when it entered play. That's awesome. That is absolutely amazing. This is trample as well, so Ugin's dead. Taking our attacks first. How often do you get to beat an Ugin? So rare. That is 100% good game. And I enjoyed that match. It's been 40 minutes already. And much love, my friend. Take out this big boy. It's awesome. Now we're gonna play Gyruda or Gyruda, whatever you want to call it. And we can keep the new one. That makes a copy of the old one, plus the new one triggers. We don't get anything from them. Get another Naturalist. As long as our Thassa doesn't go to the grave. And we can exile that for a 1/1 copy of it. Which is pretty cool, so we actually we'll sack this one. So we're going to keep the big one, obviously. 6/6. We could have cycled it a little bit more, but I want to keep the body. And the ape is going to be great here. Right, another big body. Let's take a goosey goose. I can't believe we turned this match around. As soon as I seen Ugin, my heart just dropped. And now we bounce our Gyruda one more time with Thassa. Ooh, 2 Troll Kings here. Don't mind if I do, Hugh. Don't mind if I do. They need to top deck an Ugin, or it's game over. When's the last time you had 3 7/6s in play, a 6/6, and a 4/4? It's been a while, right? We can tap one of their creatures. Oh no, never mind. We cannot. They can play a Troll King, so that's not bad. That's something. Oh, they drew a land. Oh, play the Troll King. Use your Bonder's Enclave for the draw, right? They have moves, but I think we still have lethal because we're gonna tap, you know, the Troll King. Lovestruck Beast. It's a decent blocker, right? 5/5. Not too shabby. We're down to 29 cards in our deck. Land in play. Let's tap this dude. Let's tap this dude. Let's hit home with the crew. Nice. So the 4/4 gets blocked, the 7/6 gets blocked, and I believe the 6/6 will get blocked. Still putting in 14 damage. Decent. Let's end our turn here. Let's bounce our Cyberclaw one more time. We get an Ooze, we get another King of theirs, we get a Kogla of theirs. Let's take the Kogla, and we're going to... Oh, it's legendary. Oops. Well, we'll keep the new one, and it can fight the Lovestruck Beast. Decline. Right, we'll keep the 7/6, we don't want a 1/1. Quick little misplay there. Didn't realize that was legendary. We should have taken the Troll King instead. That's fine though, doesn't matter. Removing the beast is always fun and very good game to use. Top 1500 match. Let's go for it. We're at 96. We've been falling because we haven't been playing a ton. We're gonna keep this. It's got ramp. It could be Rakdos, and if they make us discard, you know which card we love to discard? The Lochmere Serpent. Let's get after it. We've got a turn 3 Questing Beast, which will just set nice tempo for us. Nope, let's ramp instead. Beast can stay there. Simulacrum is great, pushes us into our shenanigans at an expedited rate. We're gonna take probably a swamp here. The Triumph can act as our first island. Open up the sea. You know, this is fine. 2 to the top. They must have been good. Both of those are now in their hand. They drew one and then they drew the other on their upkeep. They're ready to counter. Which is fine. We're gonna start bouncing the Simulacrum. If there's a counter, we've got a second Thassa. Maybe we should have attacked first. They still would have had the opportunity to remove it on the stack. It would have been no big deal, but you know, we should play our cards the correct way, and we're gonna lose our ramp, which sucks. But, you know, we're gaining it back right here, so not that bad. Let's take a blue source here, which we have none of. Keep stacking those blacks then. I mean, eventually we'll need the second, but that's a long ways away. 48 cards in deck. Our opponent's got a full deck at 48 as well. They've not really played much. Saltai Flash. So, you know, there are counter spells. Lots of that. We're at 5. This goes to 6. Let's crack it. Pulling that swamp. And now this is where it gets weird. I do kind of want to kill the Slitherwisp though. So let's go out with the Beast. Not countered. Let's take the hit. We do have defense within the Beast now. Okay, so they can take both of these off the field. Paragon can take the Beast, and the Wisp can take the Simulacrum. Which, even though the Wisp is their draw engine, I think taking the Simulacrum away is a good option for them, just because of the ramp that we're receiving. They're not into it though. Simulacrum survives. 2 mana, they could remove it. Oof, better yet, they bounce our Thassa. You dirty dog. Not bad, right? That actually kind of puts us in a frightening position here. We're at 6. All of these are fairly poor options. Let's play a Thassa again. Nightbonder for the draw. They're looking for a counterspell. I don't doubt that they have one. No attacks. We'll just bounce it. Trying to ramp, ramp, ramp. I guess they could bounce it right here. Oh, they kill it. We get to draw. Finally. Come on, Gyruda. The land. Nothing great. Argon in play. We're down to 15. Getting hit for 8 here. Not really good, actually. That's quite terrifying. What is the green in here for? Right? We're in standard, not historic, so there's no collected company. What I would give for a worm off the top? Three mana doesn't really account for much. This gets countered, that's game. Even this basically is. Right, we block the 3 and we still take much more than that, so we're a little bit slow to get to the pie. You know, nobody wanted to leave us any leftovers, so that's okay, we'll get there. And when we look at how annoying this deck was, a lot of creatures. I want this worm to hit pretty badly. They're all 3 or less, so eliminate's great. And, you know, 1 beast can go. One serpent can go, because we're not doing any graveyard shenanigans. I might even take out 2 serpents. It's a little high end for us. We could have traded the 3rd and taken a Kogla, I think, for the removal, but that's alright. Sometimes a little flash is nice. So, you know, trying our best to at least come out of this video with a positive win rate. 60% plus would be nice. You know, getting up within those percentages in Mythic. We're at 96% right now. Obviously, my goal for the weekend is to get into the top 1500. And ideally, I'm doing that during the day here with you guys, showcasing new decks a couple times a day on YouTube. And, you know, if it doesn't work out, then we just have to play gruel behind the backgrounds. Some of the decks that we've already showcased, right, that I don't think really warrants another video. Okay, we can keep this. The land is great. Let's get Gyruda over to our hand as soon as possible. Thinking about our Nightmare Shepherd's double draw. Going into our Simulacrum first. Ah, you dog. Never mind. So we'll just move Gyruda over right now, I think. Next turn we'll have 4-5 potentially. Let's just bring it over. Hopefully they don't go in our hand and take it. That would be so sad. Let's try to get there. We're at 3. Next turn we go to 4 and 5, and then the turn after 6. The removal there is nice. Could be a counterspell. No, that's great. Let's pull a swamp. The Night Bonder, sure. I'm gonna eliminate that. Trying to pull any counter magic, right? It's good for them. It reduces the cost of their shenanigans. Interesting. Proof now. Nightmare Shepherd in play. They can still counter it. They choose not to. I think they are definitely holding on to it. And hopefully we can just deal 4 damage a turn in the air. Another Bonder. Gross. Voracious Great Shark is what I'm predicting. Let's hit with our flyer. Thassa in play. They still see we're sitting on Gygun. So they want to counter Thassa. They can't leave it hit the field, but at the same time, if they spend their counter now, then the Gyruda can hit. Right? So it's an awkward situation. Let's just squeeze out a little bit more for field state. They're taking the Scry. They need that counter spell, right? And now they're continuing to look for counter magic, for answers for the Gyruda, and we can just apply pressure in the air, 4 damage at a time. Taking our attack step before we play anything to draw out Petty Thefts, Brazen Borrowers, stuff like this. Let's trade 2 for 1, not good. We get the draw to try to even it out. Just getting rid of their permanents, that's great. And because the Simulacrum dies, the Shepherd brings it back. And I don't think they thought of this. We pick up one of our Titan Apes, which is great. And we get another land. We've got all of our forests, so that's great. So let's get all of our swamps here as well. We just need that second. Actually, no, we have it within our triome. So that's fine and dandy. Let's continue to try to pull their last counterspell. Right? Sometimes the best place for Gyruda is just in your hand. Cycling the triome. Good news. Yup. Night Bonder's gonzo. Unless there's a Petty Theft. Scarlet Mantle for Hexproof, can't target it. You dog. I guess let's just throw in wide. Down to 12. This is a human, which is pretty cool, so it can give Kogla indestructible until end of turn if we bounce the human to our hand. But we have to pay 2 for that, keep in mind. So I think, you know, we were able to pull it off here. Unless there's some miraculous feat our opponent comes out with. You know, it would have to be an even extinction event, which gets the entire field. Oh, we can activate that because this taps for 2 mana. Nice. So we could give Kogla indestructible, but again, that doesn't protect from an extinction event. Let's get in there. Mantle's gone, drops to a 2/2. Alright, they're gonna bounce the Shepherd, which is annoying to me, but whatever. That's their whole turn. And the Paragon can kill Kogla. You know, not bad. And they probably kill the mana dork. That's pretty good. Nothing to be embarrassed about. We could have given this indestructible. That's my bad. Oops. I'm so focused on this Gyruda. We get our own Thassa though, so that's game anyways. Let's get after it. The Massacre Wurm will be great. Or we take another guy again. Let's take the Worm. Doesn't do too much, but you know, we do have something to bounce all the time with our Thassa to just continually wipe the field for -2s. So this is fun for me. Again, they needed to top deck an Extinction event. They don't, so we win match number 2 against a top 1500 player within Mythic. And Kogla, you did us proud. Let's get rid of a Serpent. I actually quite liked that. You know, we want to make sure that we're not attacking in with all of these all the time now. And I don't think self-mill's a problem, but we'll leave it there. When in doubt, run 61. I think the Shepherd's better than the Beast for flying. And the Eliminate's great to take out anything that can stop the flyers. We can drop a little bit of mana ramp maybe, or, you know, maybe even a Worm. Well, no, we should have not dropped the Worm. The Worm does so much work for us. It's just so expensive. I hate to see it in our opening hand is the thing. Split decisions cost you the game. We'll see though. I don't mind this if our Naturalist can survive. And we pull more land. The removal's good. This can be a land if we don't pull one. If we do, it can be a creature for ramp. If we do, we might just Simulacrum. Who knows? We'll see. We also want Gyruda in hand right away. Bouncing the borrower. That's okay. Better something cheap, right, than something expensive. Coming in tapped. Naturalist in play again. Hopefully we draw land to 5. Right, 4 plus 5. Paragon in play. Not too worried about it. It's annoying, but whatever. Lots of removal. Let's use Thirst. It's the Slitherwisp we want to remove with our Eliminate as a priority. We're falling behind here. We are not hitting our land drops and we're having our mana dummies removed. Oh no! Right? Not okay. I'm gonna see. Hey, at least it's not removal. Shoot. The Shepherd can block the borrower, Eliminate can take the ground dummy. I might even trade with it. Maybe not right now. I want to ramp into the Simulacrum before we do. If we don't hit the land, I definitely need to hit that Simulacrum. No blocks. No land. What a world. Well, kind of, but not really. Oh, nice. That's gonna be game. That's the card we were worried about last match, and it does rear its ugly shark head. Gross, 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 gross. And they can still borrower in. This is so bad. Good game. I would love a counterspell on this as well. Oh, it is! Flawless victory. Oh my gosh. Alright, you guys, we're gonna have to try that again. You know, just kind of bad luck, I guess. Alrighty, Gyruda still got it. People were abusing this on opening day of, what was it? Ikoria, Lair of Behemoths. You know, Gyruda was everywhere opening day, being balanced by Prince Charming. There was Yorions, there was Thassas, so it was pretty nasty. And, you know, I'm really happy to see a fine-tuned version that's able to compete within the top ranks of Magic the Gathering Arena. Mythic beating out a 99% player and losing to a 1500 player. So, you know, it is good enough to get you into the percentages and at the very least get you to that top 1500 or 99%. So again, thank you guys for all of your time and attention. Your support is amazing. It goes further than I could ever convey to you. If you want to go above and beyond, support financially, you can do so on Twitch, Patreon, YouTube, which has exclusive member content. So if you're going to go somewhere, I recommend you start there. And then, you know, we do have our Amazon link, so you can do all your Christmas shopping there, and I'll get 3% off of those purchases. So, you know, every little bit helps, and of course, every view counts as well. So share the channel to a friend. Make sure to like the video to help the algorithm. And most importantly, go have yourself an amazing day, and we'll see you soon with another Magic the Gathering Arena video from your boy, HGG.